Welcome back to Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. It's a foggy, drizzly, rainy type of day, but 63,500 fans don't mind, and we hope you don't at home. It's been great football thus far in the first half. West Virginia leading Maryland by a score of 24-21. Let's honor our Apple Computer Student Athlete of the Week. He's a man who's been instrumental in what's happened thus far this afternoon. John Stroya, out of West Virginia University. He's from North Canton, Ohio, an honorable mention All-East football player at 6'3", 262, a third-year starter, and a nice grade point average in his major area of finance to boot at 3.35. There you see the Maryland kick return team getting set. And let's take a look at some first half scores around the country. Georgia Tech's on the board at Charlottesville. 7-3.
Virginia trying to bounce back from that Penn State loss. They really took it on the chin last week. And Notre Dame has come back against Michigan State in the second quarter to go ahead 6-3. We know somebody's kicking some field goals there.
Reggie Ho has been something so far. LSU leading Tennessee 14-0 in that SEC matchup. Tough way to go for Tennessee with 2 losses to open up. And Boston College leading 16th ranked Penn State by a score of 10-3.
And after their first game against USC, you didn't think very much of Boston College, but boy, they've come back last week with a big win. Now leading Penn State. Vanderbilt ahead of Rutgers 10-7. They were concerned about Vanderbilt coming off that big win against Michigan State. Would they look beyond? But Vanderbilt is a good football team, and they're leading in the second quarter.
Don Nealon encouraging his troops. Of course, in his 9th year at West Virginia, 60 wins under his belt. He'd like 61 today, but we've got some time to go before we decide that. Some 30 minutes of football, so we hope you'll stay with us. As Beasley and Lowry go deep now for Maryland. You see Charlie Bowman break away from the special teams huddle. He'll kick off for West Virginia. Our score 24-21. West Virginia leading Maryland here by a field, actually not a field goal. It's been a Major Harris 3-yard naked bootleg at the end of the first half with about 2 seconds left, and that's where it's gone. 3 lead changes thus far. Bauman to kick. It's a squibber, and it comes down to the 12-yard line. With it is Lowry. Out to the 30. Out to the 35, and a nice return of about 24 yards out to the 36-yard line. In on the stop, David Sprouse, linebacker there for West Virginia.
There is the quarterback, Neil O'Donnell, the junior, coming back in. And there's a very interesting stat. Controlling the football.
Wow.
2-1, West Virginia. And there's the average yardage.
Each team doing well. You got to look at Beasley's 74-yard run figures in there somewhere. But Maryland's moved the ball. That's one point I'm sure Joe Krivak has made to them at halftime. 1st and 10, split wins to the top of your screen. Pitch off goes now to Lowry. At the 40, he moves ahead to about the 44-yard line.
They come up in a strong set to the Twins that time, to the open field, and they run Lowry from the fullback position. He scored on that earlier, or he made good yardage on that earlier in the second period. This time they just run to the open field and pick up 8 yards. That tells you again the versatility of Bren Lowry. He blocks from the fullback position, he runs inside, and he's got the speed to get on the corner.
The only thing we haven't seen him do today, Bob, is catch the football,
which he can also do very well.
2nd and short. Make it 2. Got whistles and flags flying at the line of scrimmage, and this play will be blown dead. You look at Joe Klimshot, he'll come out and give the call.
Illegal procedure on the offense. 2nd down.
You know, we've had a rather penalty-free ball game. Joe Klimshot is crew today. Carl Crawley, also William Cronin, William Booker, James Bing, Joe Dorenzo, the field judge, Ronald Huggins, the back judge. Gene Steratore is the clock operator. That's the crew working our game this afternoon. Penalties thus far, that's the 3rd penalty of the game, the 2nd on Maryland, and this will push them back into a 2nd and 8 situation at their own 39-yard line. Out of the eye. O'Donnell with a play fake. Rolling left, short drop, wanted his tight end. It's incomplete. Orlando covering on the play.
And the tight end is very upset, Blaine Rose, because the umpire was in his path as he came across. That time we saw a little bootleg action. Watch the umpire right in the middle of the screen there as O'Donnell comes out of his play fake. As he goes to throw the ball, there's the confusion, the umpire and the tight end.
Brings up a 3rd down. West Virginia by 3, 24-21. Maryland with the ball. Split twins to the bottom. One of them is Joins. Inside of him, Johnson, and he goes in motion. O'Donnell to throw. He'll go to his back. It is tipped and intercepted nearly. Yes, it is. Turnbull touched it. Coming up with it is Parker.
Great effort by Chris Parker. Watch this. He's trying to put this ball quickly out here. It'll swing by the halfback coming out of the play. But 87, Turnbull, 6'5". We talked about his size. It's imposing. He makes the play. But what an effort by Parker, the senior defensive tackle from Whitehall, Pennsylvania.
And what a change of possession at the 20-yard line. Chris Parker on the interception, the second of the day. And here's Andre Johnson. Inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. Wayne Brunson and Warren Powers on the stop, and there is Turnbull and Parker.
Parker, the leader of the defensive line. He's an All-American candidate. Great rush tackle against the run, and also can put the pressure on the pass. 6'5", 280. That's the delight. He's worked for that all his life.
That's the first time in a non-obvious passing situation that Maryland has gone to one of their backs, and it backfired on them. Second down and 8, second and 6 rather. Harris. He pitches. Johnson. Flag thrown into the area at the 15-yard line. That's where they'll mark him out as Brown drove him out of there, but let's see what the call is going to be.
That time the cornerback came up the field for Maryland, much too close. Kevin Folks playing on the corner that time. It's a holding penalty that's going to go against West Virginia. Big break here for Maryland because it's going to kick him back. They were pushing that goal line again.
And give their defense a little bit of breathing room. They need some down in this area because Harris has been very unpredictable.
Very unpredictable and very difficult to defense. He can run. He's got a great arm. We saw him put the ball up 30, 40 yards. He can throw short. Gets out of trouble. I mean, he creates problems for you. And you get an athlete like that, you just hope that you make the right play.
On the offense, 10 yards, second down.
Joe Klimshot on the call, and that'll bring up second down and long. Line of scrimmage will be marked off at the 24-yard line of Maryland. To the top of your screen goes Reggie Rembert out of Independence Junior College by way of Okeechobee, Florida. The I formation, and Harris brings him to the line. Handoff goes to Andre Johnson, and Johnson pulls his way over the 25 to about the 23-yard line. In on the stop is going to be Walsh and also Scott Whittier.
Good job on the backside. They didn't go with the fake. They tried to run a little counter play, and Scott Whittier, the junior linebacker from Virginia Beach, Virginia, stayed at home, made the play, and now it's 3rd and 12 for quarterback Major Harris.
Only the second time this afternoon that they've been 3rd and long. Here's Harris. Has time, fires up top, looking for Lamont. He's covered. Does he have it? No. The height of the Maryland defender, Bob, had to have something to do with that one as Lamont was hiding behind him.
Kevin Folks, again, he was beaten. He looked for the ball and turned the wrong way, but Major Harris put the ball right there. Watch this play. There's number 2. That's Folks. Watch him turn the wrong way. The ball's over the other shoulder.
Folks able to get a hand on it.
But Major Harris put the football on the money, and it was catchable, almost catchable. Great effort by both the receiver and the quarterback.
41-yard attempt by Charlie Bauman. Is it good? Yes, it is. At 12:38 left to go in the 3rd period of play. Charlie Bauman's 41-yard kick puts West Virginia up 27-21. Stay with us. More to come. Charlie Bauman's field goal from 41 yards out converts the turnover into 3 points. West Virginia leading by a score of 27-21.
Considering how they got the football on that turnover, that intercepted pass by Warren Powers to get him in close, I think Maryland is happy just to come away giving up 3 points. They're very much in this ball game, trailing 27-21. The defense did a nice job. Of course, there was a penalty thrown in there, but they held when they had to.
So Bren Lowry and Mike Beasley, as you saw them, and here's Charlie Bauman to kick off. Comes down to Lowry at the 6. Wedge is formed at the 20. A big hit made down there, and he gets ahead to the 26-yard line. Boy, Beasley tried to throw a block, and he ran head-on into Fulton. Charlie Fedorko on the tackle, and here's the touchdown attempt.
Here's the pass again as he looks upfield for his receiver in the end zone. We see Kevin Folks turns just the wrong way as he goes to the football. A little late on the football, and Lamont was close to making the play, but the key is that Major Harris gets that ball around those receivers. Amazing athlete.
Split twins to the top side out of the I formation. Maryland 1st and 10. O'Donnell gives to the fullback. This time he gets about 3 yards. Looks like it's going to be Johnson, Ricky Johnson. That's his second carry of the afternoon. Johnson from Maryland, from Liberal, Kansas. He's also out of Independence Junior College. So he and Rembert spent some time together. Now they're on opposite sides. Gain on the play of about 4 brings up 2nd and 6.
Johnson in 1987 was the junior college running back of the year, so he's a very talented youngster.
He'll take a slot position on the right side. The lone setback is Lowry. Here's the draw. Goes to Lowry at the 40. He's got the first down. And Bo Orlando has to make a saving tackle in the secondary.
Excellent running by Lowry, but a very fine job up front by the left guard Nelson and the left tackle Clarence Jones, the big sophomore, paving the way and giving him a chance to find the opening.
That's Robert Pickett, you see, walking off the field, limping a bit, has the shield in the face of his helmet, and he's looking at that right knee. West Virginia already has a linebacker out with a knee problem. That's Dale Jackson. They can ill afford to lose another one, despite the fact that they're a very good defense. Here's O'Donnell on first, rolling out to throw. O'Donnell, it is, looks like it's complete, and it's going to be to Dean Green if it is.
Coming out on first down, O'Donnell came to the wide side of the field, and Green, number 30, the junior, came down, just ran a little turn-in pattern, wide open, and O'Donnell found him. Nice mix-up, 1st and 10. They threw the football that time, got another first down.
There's your scoring summary. We've had 3 lead changes. Maryland got their 2 touchdowns first. Then West Virginia rolled off 17 unanswered points before Maryland scored again to take a 21-17 lead. And then West Virginia scoring just before the half to make it 24-21. A Bauman field goal in the third has it 27-21 Mountaineers. Here's Lowry straight ahead. He runs into the Theron Ellis there at the 40-yard line, but not before he carries him about 6 yards for a nice gain on first down.
Good job inside, and as we look at Robert Pickett, the senior linebacker from Miami, Florida, as they're icing him down, and it looks like they're icing his calf muscle on his right leg.
So we'll watch and see who comes in for Pickett. It could be Lonnie Brockman, who sees a lot of action in there. He's very physical. Number 97, we'll look for him. 2nd down and 3. At the 39 of West Virginia, Maryland on the move. O'Donnell pitches to Johnson on the corner. He's not going to make anything. At the 44-yard line. Thrown back by Willie Edwards, and Ronaldo Turnbull in on the stop as well.
You cannot play the option any better than that. And we saw it as he came up, Edwards on the corner. He beat the block, the lead block. Watch this. Here's the fake in here to the fullback. O'Donnell keeps the ball as he comes down. He doesn't see an opening. He puts it on the corner, and there comes 47. Willie Edwards right up. Make the play behind the line of scrimmage. Big play, forcing now from a 2nd and short, 3rd and long.
Got lots of competition at that cornerback spot. Preston Waters off arthroscopic surgery, so Edwards getting the playing time. 3rd down. Here's the draw play, and good for the first down. It's going to be to the first back through, and that will be Ricky Johnson.
Beautifully executed play, particularly by the quarterback. O'Donnell, who looked downfield, made it look like a pass, and slipped the ball real quick to his fullback, to his tailback Johnson. And before the linebackers had a chance to recognize it, he was in to their position and got the first down. Watch this as it develops. Beautiful job up front.
So we're going to go to first down here as the ball gets back in action quickly at the 32-yard line. O'Donnell on the give. Johnson again trying to turn the corner. Orlando makes a nice force. Herring finishes him off. Not much gain.
You know, Bo Orlando, formerly a free safety, now moved to strong safety. A real hustler, great tackler, one of the co-captains on the defense, number 22. He's a fine football player, a senior. He is on the cover of the program today. They think so much of him, and what an athlete he has been throughout his career. From Berwick, Pennsylvania, Bo Orlando.
Returned a interception, 84 yards for a touchdown last year against East Carolina. 2nd and 11 for the Terrapins of Maryland. Here's O'Donnell. He'll have to run with it. Got some room. Not enough for the first down. Gets down to about the 27-yard line as he slides into Bo Orlando.
6'3" again, over 220 pounds, 4.7 speed for the 40-yard dash. A very mobile, a fine athlete. As you watch Neil O'Donnell on the drop, things are covered, and now he decides to scramble, and he finds the hole and tucks the ball under, protects himself, and now he's looking at 3rd and 7.
West Virginia 27, Maryland 21. Third quarter action with 8:15 to go. There's O'Donnell's numbers. 2 interceptions, 4 out of 10. Back to throw, 3rd and 7, looking downfield, tipped, and nearly intercepted by Willie Edwards. Intended for the tight end on the play.
Tight end coming across. He's looking for him. He threw the ball. Watch this play as he drops back here to the right of the screen. He's looking for his tight end, Willie Edwards, 47. Gets between the receiver and the defender. He's looking for Blaine Rose, 86. Great effort by Edwards. Keeps it from a touchdown and forces Maryland to now come up with a 3-point drive.
From 45 yards out on the left hash. Out of the hole to Brian McGonigal. There's this hit, and it is good. The field goal by Dan Plonke from 45. 7:57 left to go in the third period of play. The field goal draws Maryland within 3. West Virginia 27-24. Back after this from your local stations. Maryland pulls to within 3 points on Dan Plonke's field goal. Plonke hitting his 3rd field goal of the season. 45-yarder, capping a drive of 47 yards in 10 plays. Eugene Napoleon is back deep now for West Virginia. He returned one for a touchdown a year ago on a kickoff return, and with 7:57 left to go in the third period, this game tightens up once more. Squibb liner. Napoleon will track it down in the end zone and will not come out with it. We received word from the Maryland bench that Mike Beasley, their outstanding tailback, the sophomore, has a bruised right shoulder and is questionable for the rest of the ball game.
That would be a blow because Beasley gives them that speed on the corner that they need so badly, and he showed it so well in the first half.
So the West Virginia offense comes back out on the field. As you see Major Harris discussing things with Don Nealon, we'll see these same West Virginia Mountaineers in action against the Panthers of Pittsburgh on most of these stations at 12 noon. Another great Saturday of great American independent football. We hope you'll join us. Wide to the top side, that's Reggie Rembert for West Virginia on 1st 10. Here's Harris to throw. Harris downfield for his tight end win, and he caught it out of bounds.
That time they had him double covered only because the linebacker did a great job, D'Amico, of getting deep with the tight end. He helped him, and he helped J.B. Brown, the cornerback. This is well played. Watch this. This is a little bootleg action. As he comes in, he fakes to his tailback. He comes on the left side here. He's waiting for his tight end to come across. Watch 49 pick up here, and he runs with him. And there's number 4, the cornerback, J.B. Brown. Great position, good defense by Maryland.
Grantis Bell now in the ball game at wide receiver. He's at the top of your screen on 2nd and 10. Harris gives to the tailback this time, Andre Johnson. Nice cut to the outside, and he gets out over the 30-yard line. Considering the mark, they'll probably give him the first down.
They talk about Andre Johnson. They say he's powerful, and they say he can break tackles. Well, watch this thing as he just breaks away here. A little counter play. Follows. He was going to run that up inside, but he's got enough speed to get on the corner. He breaks it outside of Walsh, the linebacker, and he just busts the tackle by Brown, the cornerback, and he gets the first down all on his own. Great effort.
1st and 10. West Virginia at the 30-yard line. Their own 30. Harris with a play fake, rolling right. They'll have to run away from Saylor. And gets knocked out of bounds after a nice 7-yard gain at the 37. Flag far sideline, or is there one?
No flag. No flag. The official was right there. And 7 coming over Irvin Smith, the cornerback, really held up a little bit. But that shows you what happens when you get Major Harris in the open field. He makes you look bad. He forces people to miss tackles. 2 of them right there. And he's got the football with a 2nd down and 2.
Grantis Bell to the bottom. Out of the eye, 2nd and 2. Fullback gets the call. Straight ahead, that's Taylor. Craig Taylor bullying his way ahead close to the 40-yard line. He's going to be short. Coming up to help make the stop is going to be Rick Fleece from Summerdale, New Jersey, the sophomore at middle guard. Taylor has a 7.5-yard average coming into this ball game.
The other thing about this West Virginia team, their ability to substitute in the wide receiver positions with Bell and Rembert, Lamont, and of course Calvin Phillips.
3rd and short. West Virginia by 3. They hit the tailback up into the hole, but it looks like he's not going to make it. That was Taylor that time.
You got to be impressed by Maryland, who looked like they maybe walked over in that second period and early in the third period, but they've come back here and they've risen up on defense to make plays, and that time it was D'Amico. Matt D'Amico, the senior, knifing in from the corner position, from his linebacker position, and watch him come in, number 49, and he steps right up in that hole and makes the hit on Andre Johnson and keeps him from a first down. That was a great defensive effort by the entire Maryland defense.
For only the second time today, Lance Carrion will be up to punt. There's the kick. Back to get it is Lowry at the 10. Nowhere to go, and he slips and falls at the 15-yard line. We've got a flag on the play. Could be a blocking on behind to boot. A 51-yard kick by Lance Carrion, who came in here with a 47.8-yard average.
A great kick. They're going to get a penalty out of it and force Maryland to have the football inside the 10-yard line, which is going to be awfully tough to start down there.
Clipping call against Maryland. So they'll mark it off. Half the distance. And start Maryland really in a hole about 90 yards away from the end zone. It's West Virginia 27, Maryland 24.
Flipping on the receiving team during the run back. Half the distance to the goal line, 1st and 10.
Okay, in a similar situation earlier in the game, you see the clip right there. It's on number 66, the block being made by number 46. That's the linebacker,
Scott Saylor.
Scott Saylor. But earlier when they had Maryland pinned back, they came after him, particularly with their outside linebackers, put pressure on the quarterback in the running game.
All right, Johnson comes in at tailback for the injured Mike Beasley. At the 7 of Maryland, this is Johnson. Johnson threading his way back to about the 8, a gain of 1. Summit's in on the stop along with Turnbull.
Okay, there's the offensive line with the offensive line coach talking to Kokin and Kovac. And Smiter, of course, the big right tackle, Brian Smiter. They've got it. Size and speed and experience.
All fifth-year seniors. And a lot of them who will be fifth-year seniors as their backups next year. 2nd down and 9, Maryland. Hand off to Johnson. Near the 10, Turnbull is in on the play again along with Chris Herring.
Here's where they missed the speed of Mike Beasley, who's been hurt and he hasn't been back in the ball game. Beasley is the guy who made that play work in the first half, running that counter play so quick he gets up into the seam. Johnson that time had the opening, but they closed it quick, and now quarterback Neil O'Donnell is facing a 3rd and long.
And facing a situation where West Virginia might send a few people after him. Who knows? Joins to the bottom of your screen. Barry Johnson to the top. O'Donnell to throw. He'll run it. Quarterback draw. This time 3 yards. That's it. Chris Parker on the stop.
They kept him in the pocket that time. They gave him no seam in the front 4 of Parker and Summits and Fox. Kept him in the seam and made him go down, and 4th down, and they're punting deep in their territory, and West Virginia has a chance to get field position.
And Dan DeArmas is going to kick away, and Randis Bill is back to receive. DeArmas does not get a good one off. And it takes a West Virginia bounce, and it'll be down by Maryland at the 36-yard line. Bad break for DeArmas on the kick of 25 yards. West Virginia in excellent field position, leading by 3 with 4:01 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Great American Independent Football. West Virginia meets Pittsburgh for the 81st edition of the Backyard Brawl. Since 1984, Pitt has won every meeting against West Virginia. Last year, the struggle went down to the final 3 minutes. West Virginia is out for revenge. Could this be the year of the Mountaineers? Great American Independent Football. West Virginia versus Pittsburgh.
The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of West Virginia University and the Atlantic Coast Conference is prohibited. Steve Martin along with Bob Cassiola at Mountaineer Field in West Virginia, and there's what Major Harris has done today. As the Mountaineers 1st and 10 at the Maryland 33. And this is A.B. Anthony Brown. Inside the 30, he loses the football, and Maryland apparently has got it back.
Hold it. It looks like it, but 2 officials say he was down. The other officials marking the football as a recovery, but I think they're going to bring it back and give it to West Virginia.
And that would be at the 26-yard line. It would be a gain of 7, so it's a gain of 7 for Brown, and just a lot of suspense and drama afterward, but little else.
Here it is, as you see A.B. Anthony Brown going up inside. He's hit. He's holding the football, and he fumbles the football. He fumbled the football.
Here's Harris. First man through. Taylor inside the 15. Tackled by Sidnor at the 10-yard line. 16, 17-yard run.
Craig Taylor used as a blocker most of the time, but ability to run inside. He's got good speed, and he runs behind Koch in the center. Watch this block up front. They block down. Control the nose guard, cut off the defensive tackle Powers, and he's into the secondary for a big gain. West Virginia knocking on the door again.
1st and goal just inside the 10. Here's Brown. Brown to the 5. Sidnor as well as Saylor in on the stop. Scott Saylor out of Penn Argyle, Pennsylvania.
And Maryland defense played a lot today, played tough at times, held on, but they've been put in tough field position many times.
That's right. Once in the first half, they were down at the inside the 20, and they got away with just a field goal. West Virginia looking for something more this time on 2nd and goal at the 5. Here is Harris. Harris wants to pitch. He does. Touchdown. A.B. Anthony Brown.
Brown gets the score, but Major Harris made the play. Watch how he holds the ball right to the end before he pitches it. That's the key. He comes down the line and he holds that football. Everybody flocks to him. And Major Harris makes the pitch, and here's the try for the extra point.
Here's Bauman's kick. It's good. Splits the uprights, and that gives West Virginia their biggest lead of the ball game.
He runs the option here. Little fake to the fullback. He holds, he holds, he holds. Everybody comes to him, and then he kicks the ball outside, and the cornerback is out of the picture. Great execution, but it's number 9 that draws people to him, and there it is. Beautifully under control, perfectly executed.
West Virginia by 10. We'll be back after this word from your local stations. There's our score. West Virginia 34-24 over Maryland on Anthony Brown's 5-yard touchdown run with 2:37 left to go in the 3rd period.
Joe Krivak trailing by 10 points with plenty of time left, and he knows that. He's been in the ball game all afternoon. A lot of people didn't think they had a chance. Coming up here today to play a really talented West Virginia football team.
Persistent light rain has fallen most of the day. This is Lowry in the end zone coming out to the 20. There's a hole. Lowry over the 40, and Maryland comes back with excellent field position.
Stepped out of bounds. They're marking the ball back at about the 34-yard line where he hit the sideline. But a nice return by Lowry. Lowry does it all for him. Runs the football, blocks, and here, returning the kickoff.
He is from the end zone. We'll watch where he steps out. Took away 10 yards from himself. There it was.
Right there.
He went another 10 yards without knowing. So at the 34, after the 35-yard return, a yard deep in the end zone, Maryland goes to work. Down by 10. Play action. O'Donnell slips. And O'Donnell goes to the ground as he tries to get inside the rush of Mike Fox at the 31-yard line. Let's go back to the touchdown again and see what the defense was looking at.
You can see this. This is great camera work as we look at from ground level. There's the fake. Look at the block by 20. The fullback going in there. Taylor on the linebacker. And the safety man, Sidner, number 19, coming up short. The cornerback went for the quarterback, Harris. And Sidner could not get there from his safety back position to pick up on the pitch man, and a big score. Beautifully executed option by West Virginia.
Second sack of the day for the West Virginia defense. 2nd and 13 for Maryland. O'Donnell, play fake, rushes on, lets it go, it is incomplete. Intended for Joins. Mays covering on the play.
Mays slipped a little bit. Excuse me, it was Whitmore back there and Mays. Mays slips a little bit, and Joins is wide open, and the ball kind of flutters to him, and I think he misjudged it to a certain extent.
See it again.
O'Donnell is under pressure. Here he is. He's going to his left. He gets his shoulders around and throws his football. There's the slip by number 3, Mays. As we see him come down, he just breaks this thing to the sideline, comes back to the football. Should have caught it.
Maryland faced with their 12th third down conversion. They've converted 5 thus far this afternoon. Down by 10. O'Donnell on the pitch. This is Johnson headed for the corner. Has some room. Herring tracks him down at the 35. Whitmore helps out.
Chris Herring, the junior linebacker who came in here last year and started from Pueblo, California. Beautiful play as he went inside, outside. He's got great speed at 6'2", 210. And he was helped by Darrell Whitmore, the free safety who came all the way from his middle position in the middle of the field to make a hit on the sideline. Big play. Turn the ball back now to the offense as Maryland is forced to punt.
DeArmas on again. The last kick he had was only 25 yards. 1:03 left to go in the third quarter. Here's the kick by DeArmas. Grannis Bell tries to get away from it. Now gets it at the 15, the 16-yard line, and falls down. Looked like, Bob, he was a little indecisive as to whether or not, well, should I get near this thing or should I just let it go?
Well, it wasn't a great kick, but he kicked it away from him, and he gave him a chance to bounce. And then, you know, on this turf, anything happens, and that's what happened to Bell. But they get the ball back, and here comes Major Harris, who's had a great afternoon.
48-yard punt by DeArmas. As Harris trots out onto the field, led out there by that great offensive line for West Virginia. 1st and 10 at his own 16. Harris sprinting. Wants it all. Has Rembert. Complete. Mike Hollis is the only thing that stands between Rembert and the end zone.
Watch 27 Hollis. He never looks for the football. He never gets a call to look for the ball. He never knows where it is, and Rembert just beats him deep. The ability of Major Harris to sprint on the corner, get away from any rush, gets great protection. Nobody's up in his face. He has time to set. He shows the kind of gun he has, and he delivers the football, and Reggie Rembert shows the speed to get upfield and on the outside.
55 yards downfield as Anthony Brown gets the call on 1st and 10 from the Maryland 29. He gets to the 25. Darren Drozdoff on the tackle.
And that's the tremendous talent overall for this West Virginia team is what everybody's talking about. The ability to run the football, and now they've got receivers with speed and size and a quarterback like Major Harris. There's no question about, you know, their future. If they can stay healthy and play tough, they're going to be a tough team to beat this year.
We're coming down to the end of the third quarter. There it is. A strong third period for West Virginia. And the Mountaineer faithful, some 63,000 strong, applaud as West Virginia takes a 34-24 lead over Maryland. This is Great American Independent Football. Welcome back to Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. We've got another quarter of football to go in our Great American Independent Football feature classic of the week. West Virginia 34-24 over Maryland. Harvard leading Columbia. Columbia trying to break a 41-game losing streak. Not too successful this afternoon. Here is Craig Taylor. Taylor headed for the end zone. He's going to be down, I believe, at the 2-yard line.
They're turning it on now. Craig Taylor, the starting fullback, the senior from Linden, New Jersey, breaking into the secondary. At 6 foot, 215 pounds, he runs like a halfback, gets the ball down on the 2-yard line, but what a gaping hole in the middle of that line by the West Virginia offensive line.
J.B. Brown on the stop. Here's Bolt into the end zone. Touchdown for Taylor.
If you go over the last 10 football games for West Virginia, the 2 this year, 8 from last year, they have averaged just under 39 points a game. That is mighty impressive offensively. They've racked up 40 already with 14 minutes to go, a little over 14 minutes to go here against Maryland. Tremendous offensive punch.
Here comes the kick. It is up. And it is good by Charlie Bauman. 14:36 left to go in the football game. Craig Taylor's 2-yard rush, as you see here, gives West Virginia a 41-24 lead over the Maryland Terrapins from Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. We'll be back after this word from your local stations. West Virginia 41-24 over Maryland in the fourth quarter. 14:36 left to go. Craig Taylor's just punched it in from 2 yards out, capping an 83-yard march in 4 plays. Taylor's
305 yards rushing today on 56 carries for the West Virginia offense. That's 5.4 yards per carry.
Here's Lowry right up the middle on the special team return. He gets it out to the 34-yard line. The tackle is made by Ron Weaver on the special teams for West Virginia. 19-yard return. Official attendance announced today, 60,188. They like their football in this state no matter what the weather. They sold all 63,500 seats, and they only came away with about maybe 2,000 no-shows. As the sky fell here at around 11 o'clock this morning. 1st and 10, Maryland. O'Donnell. Team down by 17. They go for the draw. West Virginia doesn't buy it as Lowry is flattened at the 32-yard line. Let's take a look at some scores from around the country on this busy college football Saturday afternoon. Virginia leading Georgia Tech 14-10.
Notre Dame moving ahead of Michigan State in the third period, 13-3.
And Penn State has moved back in front of the Boston College Eagles, 17-13. There's that Harvard score we showed you just a few moments ago, up by 17. 2nd and long for Maryland, trailing West Virginia 41-24. O'Donnell with a big rush on. Gets away, fires down the sideline, incomplete.
Threw the ball out of bounds. Lots of pressure on him coming again from Turnbull, the outside linebacker, and then the inside, the big tackle, the inside linebacker Ellis was up in his face. But it shows the ability of Neil O'Donnell. He can scoot a little bit. You got to give him credit. The big guy gets on the corner. He threw the ball away. He didn't have much choice, but it's been tough now. He's looking at 3rd and 12, and he's back deep in his territory.
He's only 1 out of 7 thus far this half. O'Donnell's had a tough time, and you can credit the West Virginia pass rush and their excellent talent in the secondary. 3rd and long. Here is O'Donnell. He'll have to run with it. He's tackled, and it's going to be Chris Parker downing him in the backfield.
We got a late flag here. It's going to be interesting what this is.
See what the call is going to be. It's a holding call against Maryland. West Virginia likely will decline to bring up a 4th and long.
What they've done this second half is they've kept him in the pocket most of the time. When he looks to run, because he has the ability to run, they've kept him close, and people have been able to put the hit on him.
On the offense, the penalty is declined. 4th down.
And now the pressure of being on offense, being on defense so long is starting to take its toll. As Maryland will have to kick the ball back, and West Virginia again could end up in pretty good field position. He's got his mic on still.
DeArmas will have to kick from his own 15-yard line. Low snap, but he gets it away. Nice recovery. Bell at the 33. And Maryland gets down with good kick coverage to limit him to a 3-yard return. D'Amico making the stop out of Potomac, Maryland. A 43-yard punt, a 3-yard return. It is West Virginia 41, Maryland 24 with 13:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. There you see the West Virginia offense led by Major Harris this afternoon, and boy, what a job he's done.
There he is, 9 rushes, 46 yards and a touchdown, 6 out of 10 for 151 yards. But getting him out of trouble, that's the key today. He brought him back from a 14-0 deficit. They're up 41-24.
Sophomore from Pittsburgh, going back home next week to play the Panthers. Here's Craig Taylor, who just scored, and he picks up some more wholesale yardage, close to 10, out over the 45-yard line to the 46. Matt D'Amico in on the stop.
Big block by Brian Smider, the right tackle. Big kid, 6'4", 297. He opened up the path, give Taylor, the fullback, a chance to get on the corner, make good yardage.
Big yardage through the air today. 25 yards a pass. It's pretty good average for Major Harris. This is Taylor. Straight ahead looking for that first down. Looks like he's got it. Up over the 46 to the 47. Jack Bradford making the stop.
Craig Taylor out of Linden, New Jersey. Started in 1987 last fall for this club. Power back, speed in the open field, good hands. 8 rushes last week for 60 yards today. Just doing his thing, blocking and running the football.
Been featured more here in the second half. We've seen earlier. Here's Harris back to throw on first as a man open, and it is intercepted by J.B. Brown. Intended for Phillips, and Brown is on the loose. Brown at the 40, near midfield, and tripped out of bounds on the far sideline. We've got a flag down.
Big interception that time. The same combination. This time J.B. Brown makes the interception, gets the ball back. Wherever the penalties go, Maryland's got the football back with 12:11 left on the clock here in the 4th period.
It's a clip. And it'll be marked off on the spot of the infraction, but as Bob said, it will be Maryland's football.
That time Major Harris coming off, trying to hit his receiver deep down the middle. As we see here, a little play fake. He sets up, which gives him time.
Lifting on the run back.
Comes up a little bit
First
short
and
and
10.
gives J.B. Brown a chance to get up in front of the intended receiver, Phillips, and make the catch. Great effort by Brown as he avoids Rembert, 88. He gets upfield, but we've had some blocks that'll push this ball back inside the Maryland 30-yard line.
And Joe Krivak will take the chance to have the football again and stop another West Virginia drive, possibly get something going of their own at their own 28-yard line. There's the second half statistics.
And that tells the
total.
story. Yep. West Virginia's had possession of the football, and they've done something when they got the football. They scored.
Split backfield for O'Donnell. Back to throw. New quarterback. This is not O'Donnell in there. That is going to be Scott Zolak. And it is incomplete in his first attempt. To the sidelines to Johnson.
Scott Zolak is a sophomore. He's 6'5", 227 from Monongahela, Pennsylvania. They think he is a future star. He's got great size, a very strong arm, a big, durable kid. There he is, 13, Scott Zolak.
12:06 remaining, and there you see Major Harris. From Brashear High School in Pittsburgh. Back to action, second down and about 8. They call it complete to Johnson on the sideline. Zolak gives to Spinelli. Not much there for Dennis.
Spinelli in at fullback, the junior. Started 8 of 11 games last year. Good blocker, good runner, good pass receiver. Playing behind Bren Lowry this year. But Spinelli's in the ball game. They're missing, there's no question, they're missing Mike Beasley, who went out earlier in this game.
Now the dramatic drop off of their offense. They're only 50 yards total here in the second half, not counting this drive. Third down coming up. West Virginia by 17, Maryland with the ball. West Virginia showing blitz. Zolak straight back to fire. It is complete. As a man open, and it's going to be good enough for the first down. The pass is complete out there to Johnson. Chris Herring snares him for the stop.
Something we haven't seen much today in the passing game. They've looked for their receivers deep. Their split receivers, they love to come to the backs. Now they just start to hit the backs. That time it was Ricky Johnson coming out of the backfield, got him the football, got him the first down.
You know, they threw 68 passes to their running backs last year, 24 to Spinelli and 44 to Lowry. And there you see Neil O'Donnell, a spectator on the sidelines here, as Zolak takes control of the team at the 41-yard line. First and 10, Johnson with a handoff. Nice lead block, gets over the 45 to the 47. Orlando on the stop.
Good block that time by the offensive tackle, Ben Jefferson, number 70. His little counter play gave Johnson a chance to get up, run off tackle, and pick up about 7 yards.
Think Jefferson's got enough size at 321?
Yeah, I think he's big enough. He just sort of screens people off, and that's all you need.
Second down and 4. Maryland working 2 yards shy of midfield. Here's Spinelli for the first down. Into West Virginia territory at the 46. There's still plenty of time in this one. 10:19 left to go in the football game. West Virginia 41, Maryland 24, and Maryland trying to put together a nice drive.
They're putting together a drive. It's a perfect opportunity for somebody like Zolak to come in the game, get a little time. I don't think it's that O'Donnell is hurt. I think that they wanted to take a look at this kid, and they think enough of him to put him in this situation.
Dean Green goes wide to the top side. Zolak stacks him in the eye on 1st and 10 from the West Virginia 46. Play action. Zolak to fire. It is intended for Joins and broken up. Nearly intercepted by Bo Orlando.
Orlando coming from the strong safety position deep, came in and made a perfect play on the flight of the ball as Joins was trying to get upfield and get on the outside. This is well timed by number 22, Bo Orlando, as he looks outside here for number 80. Excellent defensive play by a very fine athlete. As we mentioned earlier, he was a free safety. They moved in the strong safety because not only does he have the speed, he's an outstanding tackler.
2nd down and 10 to the top side of your screen. That's Vernon Joins. Zolak puts a man in motion. Johnson back to throw. 5-step drop. Gets it over the middle. It is picked off by Orlando. Orlando has nobody in front of him. It'll be a West Virginia touchdown. For the 2nd time in that young man's career, he has picked off a pass and returned it to the end zone.
That time, Zolak had pressure on him, and he was trying to dump the ball off to one of his backs. But the experience of Bo Orlando showed up. He diagnosed the play, came up from his strong safety position, picked the ball up in flight, and there was just nobody there. But the pressure created that situation, the pressure on Zolak. Bo Orlando,
56 yards.
A senior from Berwick, Pennsylvania. Outstanding athlete. Tough, durable, good speed. He's got it all.
Charlie Bauman to kick out of the hold of Chuck Levinus. There's the kick. It is up and it is good. Let's take another look at Bo Orlando's 56-yard interception return.
Watch the pressure coming here. There's the inside pressure from Pickett. He puts the pressure on. He's trying to dump the ball off, but there's Orlando right in the face of 84, David Carr, the tight end. And it's a foot race, and he's got a good lead.
Bo Orlando takes it all the way, and with 9:43 left to go in the 4th quarter, Bo Orlando takes it home, and West Virginia now up by a bundle. It's 48-24. Mountaineers will be back after this word from your local station. Welcome back to Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia. Steve Martin here along with Bob Cassiola and West Virginia. There you see their lead, 48-24. They have outscored Maryland here in the 2nd half, 24-3. After the two teams went into the locker room with West Virginia leading 24-21. Charlie Bauman's kick. And it's taken at the 8. Johnson. Big tackle at the 23-yard line. Let's take a look at Bo Orlando's interception one more time.
It shows his experience because he picks up. As you see this play develop, pressure comes from the right of the screen, 84. Carr comes across, but Orlando picks up on him right away, 22, right by the umpire, and he steps right in front of this pass. Perfectly timed. That's experience and his knowledge of playing in the secondary. Beautiful play, great camera work, big score. And West Virginia's for real. I want to tell you, a lot of people wondered because of their first 2 games against Bowling Green and Cal Fullerton, but this is an outstanding football team.
They've outscored Maryland 48-10 since the first 5 minutes of the ball game. Zolak throws a little flare pass to Johnson, and Johnson is really nailed at the 29-yard line by Robert Pickett.
Pickett's back. He was sort of hurting a little bit earlier with his knee, but he's back in the ball game. We got a humdinger next week when you think about it. This ball club going up to Pittsburgh, and we know Pittsburgh's a little bit younger, but they've got a lot of talent also. It's going to be a great one.
And Pitt has had West Virginia's number for a couple of years, so it's an excellent opportunity for the Mountaineers. Of course, Pitt still has to play Ohio State tonight. There's your scoring summary. West Virginia in the second half, 24-3, up 48-24 on Maryland. Here's Zolak to Ricky Johnson, up over the 35. Looks like he's got first down yardage. See a number of new shirts into the lineup now. Dave Lockwood is into that defensive secondary for West Virginia. Here are the turnovers this afternoon. 4 turnovers for Maryland. Last year, West Virginia had 6. They've got 2 so far this afternoon, but that's what West Virginia's been able to do with those miscues. Mistakes on a wet day and a very talented crew to convert them. 1st and 10, Maryland at the 37. Zolak running, has his man Spinelli complete. Good for a first down. He steps out of bounds just outside the 49-yard line.
Maryland coming into this game, you mentioned earlier, has won 4 in a row. Don Nalen is 3-5 versus Maryland, brings them a little closer, but they've won 4 in a row. Before that, West Virginia had won 3 in a row. It seems to run in those kind of series.
Going to see this young man, Greg Jones, probably in the next series, and they're buzzing about him.
He's from Miami, Florida, 6'2", 190 pounds, transfer from the University of Miami.
Zolak 4 for 6 since coming in, but the big interception to Orlando has to be figured in there as well. Here is the end around reverse. Dean Green drops the ball. It's still loose around the 40-yard line. Does Maryland recover? Looked like Pickett was going to pounce on it.
Blaine Rose, the tight end, came back and found it, but this was set up. They were looking to get the ball to Dean Green, who's got 4.3 speed in the 40, as you see him come back, number 30 here. But he just never gets a handle on it. The ball looked like it was fine. Fortunately, Rose was there to make the recovery.
Well-designed play, although Pat Marlatt would look like he was going to get a hold of it.
Now Zolak is facing second and 18.
7:47 left to go in the ball game. West Virginia has doubled the score on Maryland. Zolak back. Big pressure on, he's sacked. Scott Summits, the nose guard. Lonnie Brockman helped out. Boy, nose guard's been a big position for West Virginia to fill this year. Looks like they've got a good one, though.
Straight drop back here. Yeah, there's Summits right in his face. Scott Summits, the senior from Davidsville, Pennsylvania. 6'3", 278 pounds. That's what fell on him. And there's Lonnie Brockman, the junior. Playing
3rd down.
Outside linebacker position.
3rd down and a half a mile to go at 29 yards. 6:56 clock running. Here's the pitch to the corner to Johnson. Johnson gets a little bit of running room out to about the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but woefully short of what Maryland needs for the first down. So the punting unit comes on, and the West Virginia home crowd of 60,000 plus applauds their defense. They've absorbed a lot of moisture here this afternoon. Rains associated with Hurricane Gilbert, but they've had fun. Here's the kick by DeArmas. Big pressure on, but he got it away. Grandis Bell has it at the 20. Nowhere to run to the 22-yard line. As the tackle is made there by Edwards along the sideline, so West Virginia gets the ball back. We'll likely see a new quarterback when we return. West Virginia 48, Maryland 24. We'll be back right after this. There's Major Harris, done for the day. And a great day it was for him. Ran for a touchdown, passed for another. And there is his replacement, Greg Jones. And his numbers so far this season. Transfer out of University of Miami, as Bob told you. And his first play from scrimmage, he goes with Rico Tyler, and Tyler finds very little running room.
Greg Jones.
Napoleon, I'm sorry.
Greg Jones comes out of Miami, Florida, where when he was a high school quarterback, he was probably the most highly regarded player in the state. Heavily recruited, went to the University of Miami, transferred here to West Virginia. They like him. He's got a strong arm, and again, a talented athlete, can run the football also.
Redshirt sophomore. Transfer, actually. Lamont comes across the formation. Here's Jones' first attempt of the day. Upfield, boy, put some zip on it. Complete to Lamont at the 31-yard line. Boy, can he throw.
Great catch by Lamont because he concentrates with a lot of people around him. Very fast, exciting receiver, Jamie Lamont. But a fine pass by Greg Jones. On the run, he put it right on the money with authority.
11 yards downfield. He's averaging about 26 yards a pass completion thus far. 206 yards. There's West Virginia's offensive output over the last 10 games, as Bob told you. They've got 48 on the board today. Here's Jones looking straight ahead. That's going to be Tyler, I believe. Rico Tyler, backup fullback, goes up over the 35-yard line to about the 36. Pickup on the play of about 3 brings up 2nd and 7.
Great opportunity for Don Nalen now to play a lot of people here at the end of the ball game. Give him a little time. He's got a lot of depth. This club came back. They were trailing 14-0 early on, but they come back storming, playing great defense and moving the football on the ground and in the air.
Here's Smith again, looking up top, has Lamont complete at the 36. Still on his feet. Lamont water bugs his way to the 32-yard line. Gain on the play of 32 as Greg Jones links up.
This kid can throw the football. We said strong arm, good drop, just sets up, looks to his left, finds Lamont coming across, running a post pattern, and the ball is right there.
Lamont does a lot with it after the catch.
Yeah, he makes guys look bad. You say missed tackles, but he makes you miss.
Out of the eye, Napoleon gets the handoff. Napoleon not going very far this time. Kevin Folks gets him at about the 30-yard line, a gain of 2.
There's the depth at the running back position. Eugene Napoleon could start for a lot of clubs. He's playing third-team tailback here behind A.B. Brown and Undred Johnson. Last year we saw him play and do well. Got great speed from Jersey City, New Jersey.
Here is West Virginia, Don Nehlen. It's tough for these guys in this second unit. You know, Don Nehlen wants to leave this thing respectable. Those guys are fighting for jobs out there as well. Hand off to the fullback Tyler, straight ahead to the 30, up to about the 29-yard line. Oftentimes that gets lost when you have a very, very talented team like West Virginia. Guys like Napoleon, who probably would start in a lot of places, finds himself trying to impress the coaches to maybe move up from his 3rd spot on that tailback list.
They've got now their offensive line. They've got their 2nd-team offensive line in there, but they're a pretty impressive group, believe me. When you go across with Jefferson and Franciscus.
We got a flag on the far side of the field. Maryland's going to be called for too many men on the field as Tyler fights his way to about the 25-yard line, but they'll go way across the other side to look at this one.
Right now they have in at right tackle Milton Redwine. Remember Milton, he's 6'4". He's only 300 pounds.
Just 300. Wolfley is in there too, Dale Wolfley. There's the call. Too many men on the field. Wolfley has a couple of famous brothers. His brother Craig plays for Pittsburgh, and Ron, of course, playing for the Phoenix Cardinals. They all come from Orchard Park, New York. LSU taking measure of the Vols.
On the defense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Rutgers looking for their 2nd win.
Yeah, they're looking for that 2nd win, and Vanderbilt, of course, handled it last year when they played them at home, but they've got them up in the Meadowlands today, and Rutgers has come back to lead by 3 points.
The substitution penalty leaves West Virginia with a 3rd and 1. Grantis Bell to the top of the screen for Greg Jones. Phillips comes across the formation. Here's Jones on a handoff to Napoleon. He's got the 1st down, but he paid a price for it as soon as he crossed the 22-yard line. Looks like Webster got in on him. Also making a nice stop there for Maryland was number 65, Glenn O'Neill. Wow. That's a big hole to drive through. 1st down achieved for West Virginia. 2:37 left to go in the ball game. It's West Virginia 48, Maryland 24. An explosion in the second half has allowed the Mountaineers to stiff arm the Terrapins this afternoon. Greg Jones on the pitch to Napoleon. Tyler leads out. Napoleon at the 15. Hurdles his way down to the 12-yard line. J.B. Brown pushes him out.
You know the speed he has. We saw it last year. He can still run, that kid. Eugene Napoleon got on the corner. Good blocking the left side of the offensive line for West Virginia. Gave him a chance. And there is Mark Walsh, the starting outside linebacker, number 42. First start 2 weeks ago against Louisville. He was a backup for 2 years, got a chance to start this year. Had a lot of pressure on him today, I'll tell you. Everybody on that defense for Maryland has been up against a real awesome crowd in this West Virginia crowd.
Tyler gets the call inside over the 10, inside to about the 8-yard line. And it's going to be another first down, and it's going to be first and goal. West Virginia, 27 first downs and 500 total yards this afternoon. Penn State leading BC 20-13.
BC's hanging in there pretty tough playing at Penn State.
And West Virginia and Georgia Tech having a battle out at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. 14-13 the Cavaliers. First and goal. Here's Jones, handoff Napoleon. Squirts his way to the 5-yard line. Goes down in the grasp of number 99, Larry Webster, a redshirt freshman from Elkton, Maryland. This West Virginia team heads up the road about 90 miles to Pittsburgh, and they will encounter their arch rivals in the backyard, Pittsburgh's Panthers.
It's going to be a great one because we saw them last year. It was a close, tough ball game here. Pitt's playing Ohio State tonight. Next week, it's West Virginia.
Second and goal. Tyler and Napoleon the setbacks. Here's Jones on the option. Pitches. It goes astray, and it looks like Maryland's going to pick it up. Chad Sidnor gets it.
That time he ran a little counter option and put the ball on the ground.
Incomplete forward pass.
So they're going to call it a forward pass, incomplete on the shovel at time.
Which stops the clock at 1 minute and 23 seconds.
So Greg Jones will live a better life as far as the coaches are concerned.
The forward pass was incomplete.
Watch this.
Here it is, little counter step. He comes down the line. Where the ball was hit, that's questionable. I think somebody deflected the ball as he pitched it.
Tough angle to look from. Third and goal from the 5. Jones pitches to Napoleon. Here's the end around to Rembert. Rembert on the block. Touchdown. With a minute 15 left to go, Reggie Rembert on the end around from Napoleon.
Coming into this football game, he's run that play 3 times for a total of 45 yards. Great speed for this junior college transfer out of Florida, went to junior college in Kansas. A heck of an athlete at 6'6", 200 pounds. Great speed. Made it easy.
Here's Bauman on the point after kick. It is good. And the Mountaineers move into the 50s. With a minute and 15 left to go, Reggie Rembert from 5 yards out on the reverse gives West Virginia a 55-24 lead over Maryland. Back after this from your local stations.
The Kanawha Valley skyline is looking up. One of the reasons is the outstanding construction by Ken Hill, the building people, producing quality construction that you can be proud of. Buildings that reflect a new dimension of progress, capable of handling the most complicated jobs, like installing West Virginia's first lithotripter for kidney stone treatment and the state's first magnetic resonance imaging unit. Ken Hill Construction, 925-2113, for buildings you can be proud to look up to. Here's another shipment of officially licensed WVU merchandise, which will be available to you at major retailers across the state, all of which are produced here in West Virginia by West Virginians at PM Enterprises. Ask for PM Enterprises products because each purchase helps support the Mountaineers. PM Enterprises takes pride in our silkscreen merchandise and embroidery.
We also take pride in being a loyal backer of the West Virginia Mountaineers and would like to take this opportunity to wish them their most successful season ever.
We're back at Mountaineer Field in Morgantown, West Virginia, as Charlie Bauman gets set to kick off following the touchdown run by Reggie Rembert. 62 points against Bowling Green, 45 points against Cal State Fullerton, 55 points against Maryland.
They're chanting here, "We want Pitt." That's what they're chanting in the West Virginia stands, and they got them next week.
And we'll have them right here on the station that you're watching with Great American Independent Football. 162 points, averaging 54 points a game. The West Virginia Mountaineers. Bauman with a squib kick. Picking it up is Ricky Johnson. Johnson straight ahead. Gets up to about the 35-yard line. and that's where he's going to stop. Jefferson Powder Teleproductions executive producer is the amiable Jimmy Rayburn. Peter Lasser produced today's game and did an outstanding job. Our director today, Billy McCoy. Associate producer, Wendy Fisher. Network coordinators, Tony Johnson and Dana Lambert. Technical director, Mitch Geller. And of course, you see the rest of an outstanding crew here today. Leanne Marks up here is our stage manager. Jim Stamos, our spotter. Chuck Gardner did a great job on stats with us today. 1st and 10. Zolak in the ball game for Maryland, and here comes a handoff straight ahead. And that's going to be let's see, that's going to be Ed Suggs. Here's the rest of our crew there. They did an outstanding job today. Responsible for the camera shots that you saw. We enjoyed ourselves thoroughly. And we also want to thank the people at West Virginia University for extending their hospitality to us. 2nd down and about 5. So we wind down with 42 seconds left to go in the football game. Zolak, quarterback for Maryland, hands off. And this is going to be Suggs again. Suggs turns it upfield, gets up over the 40-yard line. Maryland making no attempt really to stop the clock. They've had a tough afternoon.
It's been a tough afternoon, but yet they've done some good things. They were in this ball game for at least 3 quarters. They just got themselves in tough field position, couple of bad breaks, but West Virginia did a great job. There's Joe Krivak. He's got a young football team, and Don Nalen, he's got an experienced football team that's very talented. Another test for him next week. But they've matched it today, and they've looked very good coming back from a 14-0 deficit.
And the ball game is over on that last play from scrimmage. Don Nehlen heads across the field to congratulate Joe Krivak and shake his hand. But for the Mountaineers, an outstanding football game today. They exploded in the second half to win 55-24, breaking open a close ball game that was 24-21 at the end of the half.
Very interesting. Joe Krivak cannot be found. Oh, here he comes. Okay, there it is.
So he and Don Nehlen meet, and they talk. Don Nehlen, of course, a graduate from Bowling Green, 58. Krivak, 57 grad out of Syracuse. 2nd year as a head coach, but a long afternoon this afternoon. There's your final score. The West Virginia Mountaineers go to 3-0 with a 55-24 victory over the Maryland Terrapins here in Morgantown, West Virginia. It's on the road for the Mountaineers next week. And, of course, they'll be the focus of our